I had a thought. I'm still also trying to figure out like where is the best for this to like try and talk into. I don't know, but I will eventually figure it out because I did just film something else and it does seem like there's a specific spot. But yeah. So, okay, I am on like a fun kick. And I got an idea to talk about. And it is related to Love Island. Yay. um, yeah, so I originally started watching Love Island like with my sister a while ago. Um, I think we watched the first season together of the US one. And then we did watch one of the UK seasons, the one with like Ella and Whitney, and Catherine. And I think my sister watched another UK season. So yeah, it's and ever since I feel like since the season with um we did like skip some seasons. Um but then I think the season with like Serena and like uh yeah, the PPG um was ironically the season we started tuning back in from the beginning. And ever since then, like it's like she's my sister is like really obsessed with it, and I am always down to like just watch something together. And like because it's always fun when you watch something together and like you kind of discuss it with people. That was kind of like how uh I got into anime in the beginning too. It was also through like my siblings, and like dramas and stuff. Good times, good times. But yeah, so yeah, I was watching this current season, and oh brother, I do not know what crack has been snuck into the waters of not only the show but perhaps the fandom. I don't know. And also this is mainly from like what I hear from like my sister because I'm not on like the threads. Like I watched the episode, I have my ideas. I'll talk about it with her. She'll talk about it with me. That's about it. But sometimes I will see like people's takes on like YouTube and stuff. Um, I think I've just recently started doing that on YouTube though. Like I don't think I've always even seen content about like Love Island and clicked on it on my YouTube. But yeah, this season I was like, yeah, I'm seeing it, why not? And I think I've been more bored and just looking for content. Um, sorry. But yeah, like you know, I've had my clients from day one, Melanie being one of them. Yes, I stand on that. um and really just, most of the girlies. Um because I'm like, what is going on that island? Like it's so interesting. I'll say that. But yeah, I think this is less of like oh my god, like these are like my in-depth thoughts about like every episode and like about all these people, and more of like a tying to an idea that I like kind of thought about. And so I think in talking with my sis, and like hearing what she's saying, like other people are saying on certain, sites and like threads, um, and also just like actually watching it and like my thoughts on like the Islanders. Let me just say this. I feel like there has been like a slight shift in like the tone from the beginning. I feel like in the beginning in my perception, at least in my algorithms, I was seeing a lot of like interesting energy towards like characters like Melanie, where I'm like, girl, this girl, let her have her fun. She ain't hurting nobody. Like, she ain't hurting nobody, and if anything, I believe that she is being hurt. And fast forward, now we had movie night, and no one could even look up at the screen when Sincere's part was playing. Like, I mean, but I just don't really. And I mean, I don't know. Maybe if I were on the island, I do have like, at least me not being on the island right now, like I have the advantage of actually seeing, at the very least, what production wants me to see. I also want to keep that in mind that these are heavily edited. Um, but like from that, it's kind of like, no, like this poor girl is being lied to. And her intuition is spot on. And I was kind of just annoyed because it kind of felt like people were like, it was like crazy making, and I'm like, no, this girl is not crazy. She heard Sincere done cheated on his girlfriend once, and she was like, and his name's Sincere. No, I feel something tingling. But yeah, so I think that was really when she kind of like, started feeling like on edge, and that is pretty valid. And I also want to like say this is also a very like, it's a closed, controlled environment. Um, and it's just like if you don't have someone, you're going home. So I also think there are certain things about the environment that just probably also feeds into like how people act. So I also want to hold that in mind in this video as we talk. But yeah, I thought it would be really fun if, well, actually, I was thinking in the past few episodes about this idea of the illusion of neutrality, um that I kind of feel like is actually quite related to like what I've talked about before on the channel in terms of like objectivity, like Delulu, which if I can figure out how to do on YouTube, might pop up somewhere here, or maybe it'll pop up in the end, or maybe it'll be in the description box, depending on how I figure it out. But it'll be somewhere if you want to click on it and see what I'm talking about. Um, yeah, I feel like neutrality is actually, I think it works kind of in tandem with objectivity in the sense of like it's something that is prized in terms of like societal values, at least within, I think, in America. Um Maybe even Western societies in general. Um and it's like if you are this thing, you're seen as, maybe more credible or more logical. And yet again, I'm here to bust that myth. um because like what I talked about in the objectivity video, and it kind of like lightly discussed like in the Delulu and critical theory video, there really isn't like what is being neutral, that you're on no one's side. um Actually, you know what, let's do it. Let's look up a definition. I was I was about to go on vibes, but let's look at it. Hee hee. What is it? Neutral. Define neutral. Oh, why did they change my settings? I mean, anyways, so right off the bat, Google just says, and where is this? They took it from. Girl, what is that? Sure. They are Merriam-Webster. Let's start with Miss Merriam-Webster. Oh my god. There's no way I just opened this and it said one that is neutral. There's no way. This must be the wrong. I don't know what that was, but it must have not been where I should have been looking because I refuse to believe that they did. Yeah, no. Um so it says not engaged on either side, specifically not aligned with a political or ideological grouping, or not decided or pronounced as to characteristics or indifferent of or relating to a neutral state of power. I hate when they use the word in the definition. Hee hee. But yeah, so essentially not, as I was saying before, not being on a side, or as Miss Merriam-Webster said, not aligned with a political or ideological grouping. Now, remember, I also said this in the other video. We are all human beings. We all did not grow up in a vacuum, right? We have our own identities. We have our own values. And that means that our actions are going to be on a side. Like it is what it is. And I think, again, it can be very, very dangerous when you are trying to convince yourself and or others that, you know, your side is, you know, not a side. Or it can be dangerous to lean into the appeal of not choosing a side. And I just thought it'd be really fun if, like, I took a little instance in last night's episode with movie night, and kind of like analyzed it a bit and, like, you know, circled back. But thinking about it now, I actually didn't think about how I was gonna do this. You know, I have to think about that. Okay, I think what I will do is I will just, from memory, do it and maybe like go back and maybe insert if I need to, like another clip, like of the actual thing, if that makes sense. It'll all come together, so it'll make sense. But I'm saying if it makes sense for me right now.
It's cute. I like this video.
Yeah, I'm glad
Okay, leg.
See how they were like, oh, how is that on?
'Cause we need to fix this, and I want to show you my love.
Do you want to sleep in the bed with me?
Yeah.
You do?
I'd love to.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. I love a rom-com. I love a rom-com.
The double standard is insane.
If I am missing Casey, I feel like I owe it to myself to explore all the guys here. I don't want to sell myself short.
No.
And then to us, it's are you serious? It's are you serious? Really?
Can I just say the double standard's a bit
Not gonna lie,
crazy right now?
the double standard is being shown right now.
There is no double
What do
standard.
you mean there is no double standard? What do you mean there is no double standard?
Whoa!
She wasn't disrespecting Casey in the process.
And that was after.
Okay, but guess what? If her video was shown first,
Oh, Sincere,
it'd have been the
shut
same
the fuck up.
shit.
Why is he speaking?
Y'all only acting like that because it was Casey's video that was shown first.
I was never disrespectful. I was never
Anaya,
disrespectful.
you know I fuck with you, bro. So I'm not talking to none of y'all. I'm really not.
I don't give a
I'm talking to Anaya.
Just let anybody else speak to you.
Y'all be the first to gang up on everybody, so shut up.
But you're the last person to speak because you do the same shit.
I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you.
I can talk.
So back up. I'm not talking to you, bro. Anaya, I fuck with you, bro. You're my dog.
Yeah.
But if Casey's video was shown second and yours was shown first, that would have been the same exact emotion. Like, you were sitting there like, I'm ready to explore the other guys here. Casey did it in a more disrespectful way.
Exactly, and that's
Yeah.
the issue with it. I don't care that Casey was exploring. What I was mad about is how disrespectful he was. I don't want no one to get it twisted here that I'm upset that he's in a connection with TT. I think TT is fucking beautiful. I think she's so fucking smart, and I think she's so fucking sweet. You are, baby. But I will never want to be disrespected like that, how he fucking disrespected me. And I hope he never disrespects you like that, genuinely. Like, that shit's fucked up at the end of the day. And yes, I'm sorry they're saying all. I really like Carl. Like, yeah, it was super sweet. I'm glad that they were happy for me.
Can I just say one thing? Do you know when Casey and TT walked in, before, you didn't know how he moved at all in Casa, and all of you started fucking shouting at him. So don't say it's not that he moved on.
No, we saw
When he walked in, that was one live. You didn't see how he was with TT or the kissing and all that stuff. So don't say it's about how he moved. You just instantly weren't happy that he came back with someone. So it is a bit about that as well.
If the roles were reversed, if you would have chose to couple up with Carl and he chose to come alone, the boys wouldn't have ganged up on you like that. They would have respected your decision. Regardless, me and him coming in, you would have been mad regardless.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You would have been mad regardless
That's what I'm
because he
saying.
came in with someone else.
I didn't.
You guys all jumped on this man for finding a connection with me.
And I'll do it again.
I'll do it again.
I'll do it again. I don't give a fuck. I'll do that shit again.
I'm like, why are we giving him so much sympathy when he has literally disrespected me, disregarded my feelings,
Dude,
and put me to
I
the
understand.
side?
I can only say sorry so many fucking
I
times.
just
The whole argument right now was when we came in. Y'all gave me shit. Y'all gave TT shit. Y'all didn't know TT. I get it. Y'all could come at me, but why y'all coming at her?
We didn't go that
Stop. No, stop. I think the whole argument was, oh, Casey didn't check on you. No. The whole argument, after all that shit, you walked off. Everybody saying, why didn't you talk to her? Why didn't you talk to her? Why the fuck would I go up to you when you have all these people for you? She has nobody for her.
It's a 3-second conversation.
Why would I want to?
Why are you standing up? You invalidated my fucking feelings. I was standing up there. You're standing up like you're.
But yeah, so in the movie night, when it was Casey on the hot seat, yeah, and it was just showing just all the things he was saying behind Anaya's back in Casa, and like it was just a lot. It was a lot, and honestly, Anaya was very composed, more composed than I would have thought. Because honestly, if I saw that, I'd be like, "Yo, square up." I'm just kidding, but like, it was just, it's a lot to hear from someone who, alleges that he was speaking life into her. And I don't want to get into all of it because there's a lot on my mind, but I'm trying to for once in my life not bounce all over the place. But yeah. And there was kind of like, the boys were kind of like trying to, stick up for him because, actually it was quiet for a bit, and then Trinity said, actually no. No, because if she not gonna say it, I will. And I love my Trinity for that. I do. We all need a friend like that. Yeah, and so like it started getting more heated. And then like the boys like eventually were like siding with him, like, oh, da da da, he didn't do da da da, and I'm like, huh? Like, these boys, this whole season, they've just been getting away with a lot, and I don't like that. I don't. I really do want better for my girls. I do. I do. I really do. But you know what? It is what it is. But yeah, no. And so I think in particular, the two instances that stood out to me were, TT. So I was actually a bit confused with TT because I feel like at one point it was like, oh, she's speaking, for Anaya. And then another turn it was like, oh, like y'all would have been mad either way if he came back with me. And I'm like, but okay, I can use this as an example. So, and of course, I don't know what was going on in TD's mind. And obviously we don't have like, the full clip, like it's edited. So there might be things that like transitions that were in between those moments that we didn't get to see. Like, it just felt like there was a need to kind of like not be too much on one side. And I guess I can understand that because I know before going in, the girls were like, I feel like we should all have each other's back. And she did come on rocky terms and like they had just made up. So maybe she felt like the need to, like, I don't know, kind of like not do too much against the girls, but also keeping in mind that she has Casey, and she has told this man that she gon' she gonna stay beside him. She gonna stick up for him. Yeah, maybe trying to play that fence, but I feel like that is often like in scenarios like that where we're kind of like, oh, I feel like I have allegiance to these two sides and they're kind of in conflict. I feel like that is often, a place where we can kind of like fall into this trap of neutrality. And honestly, I think in those moments, maybe it's just a thing of tuning into your own values and being like, oh, I mean, like, well, what do I actually believe in this moment? And well, what biases am I bringing to it? Being honest with that. Um, and like, but what decision do all of those lead me to make? Right? And kind of just like going with that. And maybe honestly, if she had done all of that, maybe she would have done the same thing. That's cool. I'm just saying it from like my perspective. Right. Yeah, so and I think it was also interesting because kind of like that latter part of like, y'all would have been mad regardless. Like, and if like the roles were reversed, I feel like they love, and that the boys did this too, right? When they were like, when the Carl and Anaya's clip came on and they were like, oh, it's like double standard, double standard. Anyways, um it's like almost like being willfully obtuse. It was giving obtuse rubber goose. I love that song. It's such a banger. But anyways, um, in order to like defend your side, right? And the boys do something that was really interesting, where it was like, again, it was like a bid for neutrality from the girls. It's like, if it were on the other foot, you know, double standard. And like, yeah, if your thing had come on before Casey's, da-da-da-da. And it's like, no, no. See, and I think in bidding for that neutrality, it's like invalidating their reality. They literally just saw clips of this man essentially putting this girl down to justify his decision to choose another girl. You really could have chosen her and explored her without doing all that. You really could have. You could have. And that disrespect is not okay. It's not okay. It's very ugly. It's very ugly behavior. No one wants to see that. Not even Casey wanted to see that. That man was cringing down just watching the video. Um, I don't know if he had forgot that he said that. I don't know, girl. But yeah, I just yeah. Sorry, what was I saying? Yeah, it feels like, yeah, they just watched it. You're asking them to deny their reality that they just saw that, because the explanations wasn't giving. Yeah, you saw that and this. It was giving, you saw that, but you saw wrong. Because then they started saying, no, it's not that. We didn't say that. I said, child, please. Place. Um, but yeah. And also with TT, almost like with that neutrality piece where she was like, yeah, if it was flipped, y'all would have been mad anyways. It's not really seeing like, I feel like it was an attempt to see the bigger picture, but I feel like oftentimes, like, even like when we're trying to engage in this, facade of neutrality, that's often how we do it. We kind of frame it like, yeah, we're seeing this bigger picture. And therefore, let me, oh yeah, I also need to specify this. Let me, based on my positioning, so oftentimes, like, if there's like a dominant ideology, you know, and like the powers that be that support that dominant ideology. Oftentimes it could be like if you are a person that is in a group that has been painted to go against that dominant ideology, sometimes, you know, that default way of like, oh my god, the words of engaging in neutrality is essentially distancing yourself from that painting and that like idea of, oh yeah, I'm not actually a part of these. I'm not similar to these other people who on the surface may seem like we hold similar ideologies, but I'm actually, closer to this dominant ideology than you would think. Right? I think that's often one way that we go about putting the facade of neutrality on. Um, and so I feel like, with the whole TT thing, it was kind of like, oh, well, these boys, dominant ideology of like, well, you know, even though we've really just been doing the worst, and it really has been the worst, and these girls have not done anything near what we have been doing, if we feel like slighted in the sense, we are just going to, make it seem like they are doing something that is just as bad as us, and be like, well, why can they do that? It's a double standard. And so I feel like TT was kind of like appealing to that dominant ideology, um, in efforts to like, put on that facade of being neutral. Of like, I actually am not loyal solely to the girls, or solely to the guys, right? I'm trying to play both sides of the fence to kind of not truly offend. Um, but that is very dangerous game to play because then no one is happy. So really, sometimes you just gotta pick a side, pick a side, and hope it goes well. um, yeah, I really hope I explained this well. Because my brain was going all over the place, and it is quite late. I'm like, will I actually put the video in there? I don't know. But I'll figure out a way to at least make sure it makes somewhat sense. But yeah. What else did I want to say? Yeah. So yeah, I guess all in all, I would say, like similar to like objectivity, like neutrality is very tricky and it's not a thing. It's not a real thing because in choosing not to be on any side, you have already chosen a side. Like that choice does benefit someone. Does benefit one side. So, and I feel like I also fall into this trap a lot. So like this is no hate to anyone. Because sometimes it's just hard and you're like, oh my god, like I don't want to hurt anyone, or like it feels like making a choice like you're like actively partaking in someone's demise, and it'd be rough. But sometimes it's less about choosing a side, and sometimes it's more about who are you? What do you believe in? What do you stand for? Right? And how are your actions aligning with that? And like, because if you don't know that, I think it's very easy to unwittingly be everything you don't want to be and everything like what some other people want you to be, and you might not even respect those people, and you're just unwittingly becoming the very thing they need you to be. So yeah. Moral of the story, just know who you are, man. Know who you stand for. What are your values? What are your biases? And just take that into however many decisions you can take that into, so you can make decisions that are you. Yeah. I really hope this made sense. Ah! Bye bye.